G'day guys, and welcome to this business management lesson. In today's lesson, we're looking at key knowledge point 214. That is unit 2, area of study 1, and the fourth key knowledge point for this area of study. Today specifically, we're looking at the importance of choosing appropriate suppliers, including the benefits and limitations of suppliers that meet the corporate social responsibility objectives of the business. Now, when it comes to suppliers, these are the people at the end of the supply chain who you're going to buy your inputs from. Your inputs are all of the materials, all of the resources, everything you need to be able to do your business. If you make leather boots, for example, your inputs are going to include leather, whatever you make your soles out of. You're going to need tools and machinery to cut the leather and to stitch the boots. Those are all inputs that you're going to have to purchase from suppliers. And when it comes to deciding whether suppliers are the right choice for your business or not, there are a few things you need to think about. First and foremost, it's so obvious I didn't even put it on this slide, is can you afford to buy from that supplier? If they're charging more than you can afford, no, you can't afford to do it. If it's going to bankrupt you to do business with that supplier, it's inappropriate. Now that that's out of the way, here are some more niche things you might need to consider. First of all, do they have exactly what you want? In many business cases, the inputs that you use will be very specific. It might be that you're an engineering firm that's looking for a particular grade or a particular specification of steel, and a supplier might not have exactly the specification you're looking for. Or perhaps you're involved in marketing and you're looking for plastic of a particular color, a particular Pantone color, and if the plastics that your suppliers offer aren't the exact right color, then that supplier is not going to be right for you. In other cases, it's more obvious. You're not going to go to a florist if you're trying to buy industrial volumes of diesel. You're not going to go to a fish and chips shop if you're looking to buy industrial volumes of glue. But whatever the case may be, make sure your supplier has the inputs you require. Then we have to consider, even if your supplier does have the inputs that you require, can they provide them in the volumes you require? Do you need 1,000 kilos twice a week? If you do, and that supplier can only provide 1,500 kilos or 1,800 kilos, then they're not the right supplier for you. You need to ensure that your productivity isn't going to be hampered because your supplier can't provide the volumes that you require. Then still, if they can provide the volumes you require, is it to the quality standard that you require? If the quality of the inputs you're getting is inconsistent or it's just insufficient, you're probably going to end up throwing away a lot of the inputs you've purchased, and that's just wasting money. It's just flushing it straight down the toilet. If you're wasting resources like that, your business is not as efficient as it could be, and it's not going to be as profitable as it could be. Then certainly you need to consider, even if the supplier has what you want, they have it in the volumes that you need, they have it in the quality that you seek, will they be able to deliver it on time? If you're paying employees to just stand around and wait for deliveries to arrive, once again, you're flushing money down the toilet. You're not as efficient or as profitable as you could be. Certainly, I've had the experience, and I know plenty of people have had the experience of going to a KFC at least once in their lives to find that the KFC is closed because there's a sign on the window that says they just don't have any chicken that day. If your business has to close because you don't have the supplies you need to operate your business, that is such a missed opportunity and such a waste of money. You need to be operating your business in such a way that those disruptions are infrequent if they ever occur at all. Because if it's happening regularly, if you're not getting your inputs in a timely manner, you are running in a seriously disadvantaged state. Finally, the last consideration is, does your supplier match your own business's values? Are they demonstrating the same corporate social responsibility that your business is committed to? Certainly, if your suppliers meet and match your values and match your corporate social responsibility, that's great. That means that you see eye to eye on environmental considerations, you see eye to eye on employee management, and on fair and transparent business practices, and you can be sure that they're not going to do anything, your suppliers aren't going to do anything that will bring your business into disrepute. However, there are cases where suppliers might not necessarily match your business's values. Certainly, There are lots of businesses that you would have to imagine would say that they would never use slavery or use political prisoners forced into labor camps to create their products. This is where one of the more interesting business case studies comes from. Rip Curl was found in 2015 to have hired a Chinese company to manufacture their ski jackets, and that Chinese factory went and recruited a North Korean business to make the jackets on the Chinese company's behalf so they could sell them to Rip Curl. They were just the middleman. They were just making money from Rip Curl and actually paying less to this North Korean factory. But the North Korean factory was using political prisoners. They were using slave labor to make these ski jackets. It's an outrageous story. Chuck some search terms into Google if you want to read about it. Absolutely bonkers to me that it ever happened and somehow Rip Curl survived this scandal. They're still around. Ultimately, when it comes to choosing suppliers, you're going to need to deal with suppliers, no matter what your business is. Even if you just grow apples. In the first case, you're going to have to buy some apple seeds or an apple tree from someone. You're going to have to buy water from some water company. You want to, as much as possible, make sure that your suppliers can provide the inputs that you need in the quality that you need, in the volumes that you need, in a time, deliver them in a time that you need, and that it doesn't cost more than you can afford to pay for it. Certainly also, you want to make sure that your suppliers are not engaging in business practices that will bring your business into disrepute, that will damage your business's brand identity in the market. For Rip Curl, well, let them serve as a warning to every other business manager out there. Do your due diligence. Make sure that your suppliers are the ones who are doing the work to provide you with your products. That's it for today. See you next time.